Alright, let's play a little game. I want you guys to leave in the comment section below your guess on what I would give for the score of Tom Ford's Lost Cherry. I score fragrances out of 5, so leave your guess down below and see if at the end of this video you're right or not. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we have a new limited edition release from Tom Ford. This one is Lost Cherry, and the reason I did limited edition is because you guys all know the last limited edition wasn't so limited, right? Of course, I'm talking about fucking Fabulous. It was released, it's said to be a limited edition. It all sold out in one day, and what did Tom Ford do the next day? Release more of it. All that aside, let's jump right into the scent. I'm just gonna come out and say it right now. As you guys can see, I do own a bottle of this. That probably means I like this fragrance, and if you think that, you'll be right. I do enjoy the scent, but not all of it. Tom Ford's Lost Cherry opens up with a very sweet cherry note, sweet cherry and sugary-ish notes. It's very strong and it's very aggressive. The cherry itself comes off a little bit boozy. I think it's because of the cherry liqueur kind of accord that's going on in this fragrance. It has a touch of boozy notes in there, but not so much. It's just like a hint, enough to give the cherry some character. So it's not like a normal smelling cherry note that you'll find in any other fragrances. This is a quite nice, well-rounded cherry boozy kind of note. So I quite enjoy that. Alongside the cherry, you're gonna get this very sugary note, and the sugary notes comes off a little bit rich, almost milky-ish in texture. It smells quite nice, but it is very aggressive, and this is the part that I don't like about the fragrance. I do not like the opening because it is so sweet. Like it attacks my nose right away. It kind of puts me off, even though the notes themselves, if I separate the notes, they all smell quite nice and quite unique, but combining them, it smells so aggressively sweet. Like if I give this fragrance to a dentist and have them smell it, they would probably quit their job. It's that sweet. Continuing on with the opening, under all of the cherry liqueur and the milky sweet kind of sugary notes, you're gonna get this underlying base tonka bean that kind of holds everything up, kind of grounds the fragrance just a little, but to me, in my honest opinion, it's not enough. There should be more of that dark, tarty tonka bean, if you will, to offset all the sweetness. It's just not enough there. Moving on to the mid, after it dries down for about 30 minutes is where the fragrance starts to smell gorgeous, and this is why I bought myself a bottle of this, is because, you know, I love the mid so much. In the mid, the cherry note starts to fade a little bit. You won't get a strong punchy cherry anymore, and the sugary sweet notes that I mentioned before, it's almost completely gone. Like it's way in the background now. Like I don't know what happened to it. It's just there in the opening, very aggressive, but towards the mid notes, it almost completely disappeared. What's left is a very fading cherry liqueur note, the underlining milky sweetness that's still lingering from the opening, and the tonka bean. The tonka bean becomes more prominent, like it shows itself more in the mid, and to me, this combination smells really good. It's my favorite part of the fragrance. I think it smells absolutely beautiful. And the first time I got to the mid, I was thinking, damn, this would smell so good on my girlfriend. I would love her to wear this. That was my instant thought, and that's what triggered me to want to buy this fragrance, because I think she would just smell stunning in that kind of DNA, that kind of smell. Got a little off topic there, but moving on to the base. Now the base comes, I would say, around 2-hour mark on my skin. 2 to 3 hour marks is when the base really settles in, and the base is very underwhelming. It's so underwhelming. I do not know how to describe it. The tonka bean itself is almost gone. Like it smells like the ghost of tonka bean past, like the ghost of the tonka bean that used to be in the opening and the mid. It died. Like it's just gone, and what's left of it is just the shell of it. And you guys get the point. Like it's almost non-existent. It's faded. The cherry gone. You don't get the cherry anymore. The sweetness is still there. The sweetness still lingers around. It's hard to get rid of that much sweetness, but it smells just like a slightly sweet, faded tonka bean with some woody notes like mixed in there. Like it just smells like that. Very plain to me. It's very underwhelming. I feel like they could have amped up the tonka bean a little more, really beef up the base, because overall, guys, this is a fall and winter release. This is a fall and winter fragrance. You do not want to wear this type of sweetness in the summer or the springtime. It's too much. So this definitely being made for the fall and winter, to have a base note that is this fleeting, is really a no-go. I do not approve of the base at all. It's too fleeting, it's underwhelming. It just sucks, to put it very plainly. Moving on, we have the performance of this fragrance, and I've had mixed experience. Sometimes it lasts good on me, sometimes it doesn't, but I'm just gonna give you guys the average lasting power and projection that I get. Now this fragrance lasts 4 to 5 hours on my skin on average. I wouldn't say it's the best. Like I said, it's a fall and winter fragrance. You kind of want a longer lasting fragrance, but that's okay. How about the projection? So the projection for me is also not that great. Like, it projects decent, quite decent in the first hour to an hour and a half. After that, it kind of nosedive. Like, it projects good for a while, and then it just like it shrunk. Like, it took a nosedive. I think right when the mid starts to go away and the bass note starts to show a little more, that's when it's just completely lost its projection. I think the projection comes with the sweetness. The sweeter it is at that stage of the fragrance, the more it projects. And it makes sense because sweet notes are quite aggressive in nature, so it makes sense that sweet notes project out a little bit more. But yeah, like, as the sweet notes tones down, the projection just... Overall thoughts on performance is not that great, to be honest, because it is a fall and winter fragrance. You expect it to be a little stronger, because most likely with this level of sweetness, you would want to wear this outdoors, maybe in a coat, maybe with a nice scarf or something. So you want a fragrance that, you know, can perform for you more than what this can. Moving on, we have the versatility, but before we talk about that, you guys know that I mentioned early on in this video that I smelled this fragrance and I instantly thought of my girlfriend, that it would smell amazing on her. Now, with that information in mind, I do think this fragrance is a female fragrance, a feminine release. I cannot see this being worn by a guy, and I'll tell you why when it comes to the compliment factor section, but I cannot see a guy wearing this. So keep in mind, all these occasions, all these things I'm gonna say right now on when to wear this fragrance is gonna be geared towards the female audience. So ladies, hey, what's up? All 4 of you who are on my channel right now, you're in luck, because I'm gonna tell you the best time to utilize this weak winter fragrance, all right? So this is, to me, a date fragrance, a very, very nice, seductive, head-turning date fragrance. Wear this when you're going on a movie date or a cuddle session at home or a fancy dinner. This will work perfectly. Also, dress up, because this is a fancy smelling scent. You want a nice scarf, you want a nice coat, maybe a dress if you're going to that fancy dinner we're talking about. Dress up really nice, and this fragrance will work for you, because boy, this is one of those fragrances that capture me right away. Like, I would not spend a lot of money on a fragrance unless I super love it now, and this is this is absolute love when it comes to niche female release. It just smells so sexy, so alluring, and it's also very unique as well. Like, no guy would smell this and get reminded of other girls. So that's why this is super perfect for a date. So trust me on that. Dinner date, fancy dinner, maybe a date at home, but definitely you have to dress up. Next, we have the compliment factor. I feel like I touched a little bit on that in the versatility already, but I'm gonna reiterate some of that for you guys. This is, again, a female release. The reason I don't see a guy wearing this is because it's so sweet. I smell this and I see a beautiful woman. I don't see a guy. A guy, to me, wearing this would just smell girly. Like, but of course, if you don't care about smelling girly, you absolutely can wear this fragrance. That's really up to you and your taste. But to me, it really doesn't fit a guy. Like, there's some unisex fragrances that smells in between and a guy can wear this. To me, this is not one of them. This is for the ladies, and with the ladies, I can see you girls getting a lot of compliment with this one, because it projects quite nice, especially in the first hour or so. And usually on a date, when you go and meet up that guy for that first hour, this fragrance is gonna be extremely magic, because it projects the strongest in that hour. And of course, the first hour is extremely important because it's the first impression hour, right? And this fragrance is, boy, a really good first impression maker. It just smells sexy, it smells unique, it smells classy. It's everything you want that guy to associate you with. So to me, this is a very perfect fragrance for those occasions. Next, we're gonna talk about the price point, and this fragrance to me comes only in a 50 ml, I believe. I've never seen a flacon of it anywhere. So a 50 ml of this will run you about $320. It's the limited edition price. Fucking Fabulous is the same price, but to me that's pretty bogus, because fucking Fabulous, the people buy it because it's limited edition. That's why it's priced $320, but it turns out not to be a limited edition. So I don't know how limited edition this one really is. So be warned before you pay $320. Please be sure that you actually like the fragrance. But overall thoughts, is this fragrance worth it at full retail? I would say absolutely not. Like it's so expensive for what you get to use it for. Like I said, the performance not quite there, the smell itself, the opening is too sweet, the base is lackluster. So at $320, I don't see anything at all in this fragrance that justify it, like nothing at all. I feel like this could fall easily into the normal private blend line at $235 for 50 ml. That to me is a much more reasonable price. Still expensive, mind you, but it's a lot better than $320, right? So if this was to be dumbed down to $235, or if you can find a good deal of it for like roughly that area, $200 to $235, then I feel like this fragrance can be a little more worth it. But at full retail, absolutely not. Alright guys, we're here now towards the end of the video. I'm gonna summarize all that I said for you guys in the pros and cons. Alright, so pro number one of this fragrance, it does smell quite unique. Like I really like the cherry liqueur note. I don't see that too often. The milky sweet nose is really nice as well. Like it's a different kind of sweetness that I'm used to, so I really like that. So yeah, the smell is really unique. Number two, I think that's the only pro. On to the con. Number one, the base note sucks. The base is not deep enough for me. It's a fall and winter fragrance. It should be deeper. It should be richer. And tonka bean to me is supposed to be a heavier note, not a really fainted note. So yeah, I'm not a fan of that. Performance is not so great for the fall and winter. It fades too quickly. The projection is quite lackluster. Don't approve of that. Con number three, it is ridiculously pricey. $320 to me is absurd for this kind of scent. It's simply because it doesn't deliver in a lot of areas that it should deliver, being a type of fragrance that it is. So price wise, it is terrible. On to the final rating now guys. I hope you guys made a guess down in the comment section below on what my rating will be, and if you haven't yet, you can feel free to pause this video right now and make a guess down below before I say what I have in mind. So I'm gonna give you guys that 3 seconds to do that. Alright, 3 seconds is over. So to help us score this seductive fragrance, I brought back, yes, Kate Upton to help us score this. So how many Kate Uptons does this fragrance get? And the answer is 2. Yes, 2 out of 5 Kate Uptons. The reason I gave this fragrance a 2 should be fairly obvious to you guys. The biggest thing is the price is ridiculous. It's $320. It's way too much for this fragrance. The performance and projection really doesn't match the season that it's supposed to be made for. So that I also don't appreciate too much. If you're making a fall and winter fragrance, make it a fall and winter fragrance type of performance. Don't lack that quality for us because it doesn't make any sense. Especially if it's as easy as beefing up the tonka bean at the base. Like that could easily been done. Look at Fève Délicieuse for example. The tonka bean base in that is strong. So it's not like it can't be done. Recapping again is the very highest price, poor performance, and the lackluster base notes that really brings this fragrance down to only 2 stars. It still smells fantastic to me in the mid. That's why I bought it for my girlfriend, because I think she would smell absolutely stunning in this. I just wish it was cheaper and I wish it performed better. Alright guys, that's it for this review of the new Tom Ford's Lost Cherry. Let me know what you think of this fragrance down in the description below. If you have not tried this fragrance, are you excited about trying it? Is it gonna be a thing that's kind of up your alley? Let me know that information because, you know, that's interesting to me. And with that said guys, I'll see you guys next time in another video. Peace out and bye.